Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my garage. It has been over a year since I made a video on pricing, and I thought I'd come back and make one because pricing has changed significantly in that year. The price of batteries has come down quite a bit, panels have come down a little bit, the charge controller and the inverter hasn't changed a whole lot. It's come down a little bit, but not a lot. But just the batteries and the panel prices alone will make a difference. If you're looking to buy or jump into off-grid solar, whatever you do not pieces, parts, everything together. If you're asking somebody who's done exactly that, which is pieces, parts, everything together, all you got to do is go back and look at some of my older videos. As a matter of fact, go back to the very beginning of my series where I started keeping track, and looking at what I got now compared to what I had then, I have come a long, long way. Now, if you want my advice on what it is you should be buying, if you're just, sitting at home saying, I need to do something, I don't know if I want to spend a whole ton of money and sign a contract with another company and have them come put a whole bunch of panels on my roof and all that kind of stuff, but I want to do something to save myself some money. This is it. I made a list for you guys on the system that I would recommend everybody that is ready to get into things and get started should get. If you're just going to start from scratch, order all this stuff, put it all together, and it will save you money. And as you see on the top there, for a roughly $2,500, you can put yourself together a 12 volt, 40 amp, 600 watt, 600 amp hour system, and have yourself an emergency backup system, something that is capable of running your refrigerator and your sump pump and a TV and quite a few other things for a sustained period of time, day, night, it'll go pretty good ways, all for $2,500. As it stands now, you can get 200 amp hour, grade A cell, time USB batteries, these right here that we're talking about, this one right there. You can get those batteries for right around $450 if you watch. Right now, I think they're listed for $475, but I've seen them for $450 a couple times. As a matter of fact, I bought one the last time they hit $450. And now we have 3 of them, if you didn't notice before we zoomed in here. But that is dirt cheap. I mean, dirt cheap. When I started doing all these videos, I was happy to buy the Chin's 200 amp hour battery with a 100 amp BMS for $650. I thought that was a deal. But the time USB batteries are grade A cells, not automotive grade like Chin's. And it also comes with an upgraded 200 amp BMS, which definitely makes things better, especially if you want to run some of the bigger loads like the refrigerator and the sump pump. I think when those both were running at the same time, it would kick off a 100 amp BMS. So it is important to have that extra 100 amps on your BMS. It really is. So, if you want to save a few bucks and go with a 100 amp BMS battery with 200 amp hours worth of reserve, cool, go ahead. But I don't know why you would do that. Just trust me. Buy the time USB batteries. I like them. They work wonderfully. I haven't had any trouble with them whatsoever. Charge controllers, I'm still recommending EpEvers. I've been running mine for a couple years now. Haven't had a lick of trouble with either of them. They work fine. They're efficient. If you buy the MT50, you can program them and change your charging parameters to whatever your little heart desires. For $200, I think they're the deal. You can spend more. You can get a Victron if you feel the need. Go ahead. It's going to cost you more, and I don't think it's worth it. I'm building budget systems here that I know will work and will work for you. So, hey, you want to spend an extra $100.50? Buy the Victron. You won't regret it. But you know what? The EpEver's been working just fine for me, so I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. Panels, I run the new power panels up there. In this setup that I've got here, I'm buying 200 watt panels, 12 volt 200 watt panels for $179 a piece. Yes, you can buy 100 watt 12-volt panels for right around 80 bucks a piece now. Maybe even a little bit less. And yes, if you string two of those together, you'll save yourself a little bit of money. But what you're not considering is to get 600 watts, you have to have connectors to connect everything together to get it all down to just 2 wires. And those connectors are going to cost money. If you just buy the 3 panels, it's less wire, less connectors. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but just having the 3 panels as opposed to the 6 just makes everything a little bit easier. It's going to be easier to build your rack. It's going to be easier just all the way around. So that's why I'm recommending, yes, you spend a little bit more money for the 200-watt panels, 3 of them as opposed to 6 100-watt panels, but it'll work out, trust me. And as far as inverters go, I am still recommending the Guiandel, like the one that I have with the display on it. It's a 2,000 watter. It's got a hardwire block, so you can hardwire stuff right in. And then on top of that also has 2 outlets, which you can plug stuff into. It has worked flawlessly for me for over a year. I don't know if there's anything better out there to recommend. I'm very, very happy with my Guiandel. A lot of people are happy with the Samlex, say they're wonderful inverters. I have had a couple small minor issues with mine. The Samlex actually has a GFCI outlet on it, and occasionally, actually twice over the probably 2 years and change that I've had it, it has, for mysterious reasons it only knows, tripped that GFCI and shut off all the power. It happened once while I was in Chicago, and that shut off the internet and the security system and everything else, and I had to walk my wife through how to get everything back on the telephone. So am I recommending the Samlex? Haven't had any trouble with it other than the GFCI outlet causing issues. If you can buy one without one of those or a hardwire terminal block, then I think you'll do just fine. But Samlex costs more than the Guiandel, so you know, hey, it's up to you. There's also Ames Power. They are rather expensive. I don't know anybody that's had one, but they are talked about as they are good inverters. So, you know, hey, it's up to you. But if you're asking me, stick with the Guiandel. Mine's been working fine. It'll run my refrigerator, the sump pump. It'll run everything that I got hooked up into the off-grid. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Well, as you can hear in the background, the heater's firing up, it sounds like. It is. So it's going to get a little noisier in here, but that's okay. I'm about to the end of my video anyway. For those of you that are out there looking, 2,500 bucks will buy you a 12-volt, 40-amp, 600-watt panel, 600-amp-hour battery system. And believe you me, on the 40th, that'll work out perfectly. 200 watts to 200 amp hours is a pretty good formula right here on the 40th North. It works out really good. The bigger the battery, the better that's going to work out. So I anticipate I shouldn't have any issues this year going through the winter time. Let's zoom out here a little bit, and I'll actually remove the board so you can take a look at the Guiandel that I'm recommending if you haven't actually been to my videos before. That is the Guiandel we're talking about. Good unit. Haven't had any trouble with it. Like it a lot. Well, that's it, everybody. Like and subscribe if you're still here. I'm trying to grow the channel. Do what you can. Have a good day and a better tomorrow. See ya.